Hello. This is the example 5 for Chapter 2, Section 7. What I want to do is I want to show how we're going to graph y equals x minus 3 squared minus 2. What we want to do is we want to look at this equation and realize what the parent function is. Notice that it'll be a polynomial of degree 2, and that parent function is y equals x squared. It's just the simplest function you can think of that's still degree 2 polynomial. Now, when you're graphing these, what I want you to do is I want you to work left to right. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to first do the parent functions table. I have an x and a y, and then I need all the values that go with it. So -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3 with 9, 4, 1, 0, 1, 4, 9. I'm going to work left to right. I'm going to look for any numbers that are not the square portion. There's nothing out front, there's nothing in front of the x there, and there is a -3. So that's the first place I'm going to start out. So what I want to do is I want to figure out how do I get from y equals x squared to y equals parentheses x minus 3 close parentheses squared. Well, because that 3 is on the inside of the parentheses, it's directly affecting the x. And because it's addition or subtraction, it's a translation. It's translating it 3 units to the right. In other words, we're going to do the opposite of what it says. So we need to add 3 to the x value because it's inside the parentheses. Whenever we do that, that gives me a new table. This is affecting the x values, which means that the y values will stay the same. So I still have a 9, 4, 1, 0, 1, 4, and 9. But the x values will change. I need to take the x value and do exactly what I say here. In this case it says add 3. So that means -3 plus 3 is 0. -2 plus 3 is 1. -1 plus 3 is 2. And so on and so forth. That's the next table there. Now the question becomes, what's next? Well, I used that -3, and there's a 2 here, but that's just the exponent. That was in the original parent function. Nothing's changed there. Then we have this -2. This -2 is not over here, so I need to put it on there. So that means that y is equal to parentheses x minus 3 squared minus 2. Now the question is, what happens? Well, because this -2 is on the outside of the parentheses, that means it affects the it affects the y value, not the x. And because it's on the outside, you do exactly what it says. So outside you do what it says, inside you do the opposite. So outside it says subtract, so I do subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 2 basically, not -2, but subtract 2 from, because it's on the outside, it is the y value. So again, I'm going to get a new xy table. But this time it affects the y values, so all the x values from this green table stay the same. So that gives me 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And since I need to subtract 2 from all the y's, that means that I have 9 minus 2, which is 7, 4 minus 2, which is 2, 1 minus 2, which is negative 1, 0 minus 2, which is negative 2, and so on and so forth. And there we go. This equation here is exactly what we want to graph. Therefore, this is the table we want to graph. So here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to just graph this table. So it's 0, 7, 1, 2, 2, negative 1, 3, negative 2, 4, negative 1, 5, 2, 6, 7. I hope you can see the parabola now. There we go. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect when you graph the parabola, but it needs to be able to be, you need to be able to tell that it's a parabola. You shouldn't do something like, I'm going to erase this in a second, so don't worry about it. Shouldn't do something like this. That doesn't happen, sorry. So, this is what it should look like, approximately. One thing you should realize is that this 3 and this 2 both translated this function. It started out right here, at least it looks something like this originally. So it went 3 to the right and 2 down. I know it went 3 to the right because it was the opposite here and it was a translation. So I added 3 to the x, which is going to the right 3, and I subtracted 2 from the y, which means going down 2. So from here I went right 3, down 2.